Have you ever heard of combat robotics? You know, the sport where two teams build robots and fight them to the death? Well, recently, if I was able to come up with some CAD models, my college said that they would provide the electronics. So I got two buddies and instantly got to work.
Dude, that looks like a penis.
Maybe it wasn't that good. And then my buddies just kind of, made it completely better. But you know what that means? We could finally get the electronics.
Alright, so we finally got the electronics, right? You know what we got? One weapon motor, one drive motor, one broken drive motor, one broken motor receiver, and one part that plugs into the battery, and it wasn't even the right part! Hey, yeah, all this is broken. Oh no. So now, all we have to do is print the entire robot, wire the entire robot, fit it all together, and just hope it works now. We got one shot at this. The worst part, I can't even complain about being tired, since Owen and Vince had to pull an all-nighter just to make sure that the 3D printer wasn't gonna explode while they were sleeping. So when I arrived to their place, this is what I had seen done so far. Bro, the competition is in 2 hours. So we had to work like crazy. Oh my days! You know what we found out? We have to have the safety switch exposed. Okay, let's just melt a hole in the top of the robot, jam it through, and fill it with hot glue. Oh, what? We need a weapon lock. Okay, let's use a blowtorch on a bolt and just start jamming it into the body until it goes through it. So finally, after the most sleep-deprived, rushed, and sketchily put together robot, it was time to compete with it. So on our first attempt at the safety test, the wheel just ripped off. Okay, no biggie. Just put some hot glue on the shaft of the wheel, jam the wheel on, and we'll hope it stays. Oh, our controller had the most sketch setup of all time.
Forward, backwards, very left, very right, sort of left, sort of right, sort of left, sort of right.
Oh, and how's the weapon work?
Oh, it's this one. It's off right now for safety purposes.
Now, why was our setup so chopped? Well, this controller was made for RC airplanes, not Bernard's. So you know what? They just gave us a new controller at the competition because it was so shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought we had it in the bag this time, bro. Third time's the charm, they said. And me, all cocky, I say, hey, Owen, record this one.
That's good.
And finally, after so many hours of hard work,
That's crazy, bro.
and just like that, it was over. We weren't allowed to compete without an active weapon. All that work just for nothing. But then we realized that there was still one old prototype weapon. It was only 15% infill. For context, the weapon that just exploded was 100% infill.
Cool. Can you give me a sec?
Alan, we are so fucked.
After redoing the safety test for the 4th time, we finally made it. Now, our opponent was named Brian Cole. They are a egg beater drum spinner, which would normally be a very bad matchup for us, but they were having ground clearance issues, which means anytime they tried to rev up their weapon, it would just kind of bounce around uncontrollably. Now, we weren't without our own issues. The prototype weapon
that we were using was completely flat on the bottom, which means anytime we tried to spin it up, we would just start spinning out of control. This was fixed with the new weapon, but you know. So we had to make do with what we had.
You don't see many plant undercutters in this day and age. It's very interesting to see Bernard here trying to make that work.
Too much control. However, that's a refin there. And that's a little bit of damage with the weapon. Although Matthew's going to be penalized in aggression points if he doesn't use that weapon. Despite its, well, condition. Oh, now it's turned over.
Okay, well, as we established earlier, Bernard is a descendant of a chicken. So he can run with his head ripped off.
Matthew,
Or I guess kind of stubble around. So yeah, when he's flipped over, the bolts holding the weapon motor in place get caught on the ground. So this headless chicken becomes more of a sitting duck.
Their weapon is on the ground as well.
That's the way. And it's not a drive side down?
Looks like it.
Now while Bernard sat there as this ball of destruction bounced around the arena, I utilized all 4.5 brain cells that I have and realized, hey, if we can't move, why don't they just turn off the weapon and try to pin us the rest of the match? And then I realized their drive must be broken. So now it was up to if their weapon could spin for the rest of the match.
This is really loud.
This is really loud. Oh no, Bernard!
Bernard is damaging itself more than, Brian Core is damaging itself more than Bernard can.
This is an odd match.
I gotta say, style points for the back.
Matthew almost turning into a hammer saw there.
Oh no, the motor died! I see some smoke from that motor.
That motor is dead.
Oh, looks like his motor's overheated. Oh,
The coils are at the tap out.
tap out from Brian Core. No one expected that at the beginning of the fight.
Coils just smoked themselves.
The Bernard team celebrating a glorious victory. You love to see it.
You did it, sir.
I did it. He did it.
I did it.
He did it.
I don't think I could describe how excited we were to win that match, but we had to lock in since our next match was coming up quick and we had no spare weapons. All we could do was throw on as much hot glue as we had and pray this robot would still work. Now, our next opponent was Touchgrass, whose driver has been making combat robots for longer than I've even had a
Touchgrass
computer.
looking to try and stop that weapon. Oh,
So to
no.
win this,
That weapon
I would
is
need to do the
dragging on
best
ground,
goddamn
forcing it to
driving
spin.
of my life.
Touchgrass looking for a good pin here.
It's a difficult object to pin currently. Touchgrass kind of able to get. Oh, not quite.
They're going melty mode now.
Oh, they're going vert mode. This looks like we have all sorts of different modules here. We have the vert module, the melty module. And the weapon is just chunking.
Okay,
And now we
well,
have
at least
overcutter.
we still have the blade.
It's honestly better.
Alright, maybe I should just stop talking.
Again, decapitated once again.
And just like that,
No,
it
getting
was
beat.
kind of over. We're flipped
Good
upside
grab,
down,
look
we
at that.
have
Yeah.
no weapon, there was nothing we could do.
Having some
But
drive
then on
issues.
one of their
Picks up
attacks,
the weapon now.
it did flip us back over, meaning that there now was an extremely slim chance we could.
Toto might
Oh
be
my days.
Oh,
No, one of their wheels
By
came
some
off.
miracle,
This could
we
change
just
it.
somehow knocked
This
off
could
one
really
of their
change
wheels
things.
Oh man,
and then stuck
my
them on
God.
top of it.
exposed wheels.
So now,
Apparently
the match wasn't
bumped them
over.
the right way, they
Each
fall
team
off.
is allowed one unstick.
Touchgrass calling for an
But this
attack.
meant that if we could get them stuck again,
Bernard team very
we would
excited
win the
to
match
deal
by
that damage.
knockout. So all I
This is
had
gonna
to
be
do
a weird match to
was the
judge.
best
Especially
driving
because now with that drive
of
side
my
down,
goddamn
damage is equalized.
life.
Thank God I'm not a judge.
3, 2, 1, fight.
They
And-
want that other wheel.
Yeah, they're trying to scrape it off. Touchgrass now trying to regain control, but this could be a pin here for Bernard. Oh, they could try and high center it. The lifter though should be able to keep it off of getting high centered on the forks. You can also try and push the wheel under touch grass. That might work. And it's a hat.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a weird control match.
Yes.
Release.
You don't expect Bernard to become a control bot here.
And it's a successful one at that.
It's doing much better than it realistically should, and I applaud them for this. Wonderful driving coming out of Bernard here.
Yep, touch grass trying to go for more pins here. Needs to regain control, but the match is featuring an end, and then that's a last pin.
So we go to the judges.
4,
Touch grass. Oh, it can still
No,
play.
he can still move.
1. And that's the fight.
Wow.
Wow.
And after an extremely hard-fought battle, it went to the judges' scorecards. And after a very long deliberation, the winner was Touchgrass. And I can't really be mad. We did have a good comeback in the second half, but in that first half, they had so much more control than us. But we were still so proud of Bernard's performance. I mean, leading up to the competition, we were having serious talks if we'd even have a robot. We were able to put this together, print, wire, build everything within 12 hours. And none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for my two teammates. So I got to give a huge shout out to Owen and Vince. I kind of got the easy job. I got to drive the robot and then make the video on it. So and if you guys made it to the end of the video, it would mean the world to me if you could drop a like and subscribe. It helps support the channel and what we're doing here. Until next time, see ya. I don't know. Zingo!
Bro.